Hello, everyone. This is Anushka again, and I'm back with a new topic. And this video's topic is variables. So, what are they in coding? Let's just look it up. I don't want to understand in that way. So, let's think of variables. Think of a variable as a box. Yes, you heard me, a box. Now, this box holds a value. It can be anything, okay? Anything, there are some restrictions. I will come to that. Now, this can change. And your variable, it has a name. Under that name, there's a value. So when you code, you set a value to the variable and you can change it later through code. So rules of naming a variable, they cannot have white spaces or blanks. They don't begin with underscore, and don't use names that have only one character. Don't use hyphens or dashes. I mean that little symbol. And the first character of the ID or the name must always be a letter. Okay? Now, if you don't follow these, the variable will not be valid, and wherever you use the variable, all the result would come as an error. Every other code will work, but anything involving the variable would not work. Now, let's get started. Open the link, and the link is in the description, like always. Let's get started. Okay, so when you open the link, it's gonna look like this. Now, in this level, you don't need to write any code. We're just gonna hit run and play the game. So let's just read what the game is about. In this game, you're the dog who is trying to collect more flags than the cat. Use the down arrow to control the dog. Press finish when we're done playing. Okay. Let's click on run. And I'm gonna keep trying to win. But I can't. So let's just click on finish. Now let's click on the next puzzle. Read the instructions. If there's a video coming, you can watch it. It's going to be helpful for you. But I'm going to skip it for now. You can pause and watch it, then come back to the screen. Okay. So the last race, the puzzle wasn't very fair. Change the dog underscore speed variable to make sure you can get more flags than the cat. So let's click on dog underscore speed. There's a number there. It's 1. Click on it. From here, let's change it to 4. That's going to be really fast, isn't it? Click on run. And yeah, I'm winning, aren't I? Now let's click on continue. Here's a new kind of game. You don't need to change anything on this level. We're going to use left and right arrows to move and up arrow to jump. Let's see if we can collect all the flags. And we're done. Let's click on continue. You all can, the phone, tab, and iPad users, you all can use the arrows so that it's easier for you. Click on run now. Do the same thing again. Now, if you've noticed, we can't get higher to the next level, can we? No, we can't. Now let's read the instructions. We're using a variable called height to control how high the dog can jump now. Update the height variable so that the dog can jump high enough to reach all the flags. Let's click on 100. Why don't we put it as 200? Let's click on run now. As you can see, we have collected all the flags. Now I want to explain something, so I'm going to click on keep playing. So you're going to see that we didn't change rest of the code. We just change the variable which is at the top. Now, this is why we use variables. Another reason is because not only we can, when we need to change something, for example, you're writing a huge data code and you realize that one of the values that you've been using to write it is not right. It's not the correct value according to this chart. So you can't go each line and check and correct the value there, can you? No, we can't. That's going to take ages because such codes are very, very long and it's hard to debug. Debugging is correcting the code when there's something wrong in it. An error is called a bug. Okay, so instead of worrying about all that, if you assign the value to a variable like we did here, instead of changing it at both places, in this case, you can just change it at the top and it will update wherever else it is called. So this part is the declaration of the variable where we give the name and the value. It's usually put at the top so that the variable can be used all over. And this part is calling the variable. So you're calling it, you're using it in your code, aren't you? So let's play again. So now we don't have to change the value of each, the value on each line. Changing it just at the variable will update it wherever else it's called. Now let's read the instructions. Let's build a game. First, we'll need a score. Rebuild the code that you saw in the last level to set the score to 10. Now that's simple because you already have predefined blocks here. Drag and drop the second block under when run and drag and drop the first block. Attach it to set points. Now click on 0 and type 10. Now click on run. You can see that the score is shown here at the top of this preview screen. Now click on continue. In our game, how should we score points? They've given us the instructions, so we're going to follow them first and I'll show you how you can make your own game. I already showed it in one of the other videos. I will repeat it here also, but first let's read the instructions. In our game, how should we score points? Add 1 to your points variable each time the dog hits the cat with a piece of pie. That's a fun game. Use the when actor 2 touches anything event to trigger an update to your score. You can increment your variable by setting points equals points plus 1. Get your score up to 10 to pass the level. Now let me explain. I'm sure it's very self-explanatory, but I'm going to do it anyway. So first you're going to add 1 to the points variable each time the dog hits the cat, which means you're going to increase the points by 1. So for that we're going to use the event when actor 2 touches anything. So when actor 2 touches anything, well, we're not making it touch anything here other than the pie, so that's what we're going to use. We use the formula points is equal to points plus 1 to set the score. Now let me tell you why we use that formula. Now we don't know at what point what the score of the user is, do we? That's monitored by the points variable. So which is why we use a variable which monitors the score and it automatically updates each time the user scores a point. So first drag and drop the first block, which is the addition block, attach it to set points to. Now drag and drop the third block, which is points, attach it in the first blank. Drag and drop the second block now, attach it to the second blank. Click on 0 and type 1. Now when actor 2, which is the cat, touches anything, we're going to get 1 point. Click on run and let's play the game. Once more, use the arrows on the screen to control it. Okay, click on continue. Let's make sure the game isn't too easy to play. Anytime the dog, which is actor 1, gets hit by a sandwich from cat, actor 2, we should lose a point. Let's start with 10 points so it's not too hard. Let the score drop from 10 to 0 to pass the level. Okay? So now we already have the code that's been given. So the cat side will be played by the computer and the dog side will be played by us. I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I'm sorry. Okay. Now when actor 2 touches anything, we get a point. When actor 1 touches anything, which is the dog whom we are playing, we lose a point. So similar to the points plus 1, we're going to do points minus 1. Okay? So you can see when actor 1 touches anything, play hit sound. I'm going to drag and drop this part a little below. And let's drag and drop the fourth block, which is set points to. Drag and drop the second block, attach it to set points to. Drag and drop the fifth block, attach it to the first blank. Drag and drop the third block, attach it to the second blank. Click on 0 and type 1. Now it's not already done because it's going to add another point. We need it to decrease another point. So click on the plus. From here, choose the minus sign, which is the second option from the drop down. Now click on run, play the game. I'm just going to move around so we can win easier. Lose points easier. Oops. Now since the cat itself is touching the sandwiches thrown by itself, we are getting few points, so it's going to take a little time. There we go. Oh. Dang. Okay. There we go. Now it doesn't show 0 there because code.org automatically ended it, but we actually lost a point as soon as we hit this sandwich. So let's click on continue. Now here is your free play time. You're gonna do whatever you like, okay? And once more, there are more sections here. You can ignore logic and you can ignore logic because it may take some time to understand. I'll try and make another video on logic so that you can use that part of the code too. If you're able to understand, then that's great. Go wild with your imagination and make whatever game you like. Click on finish and you can share your story once more. Again, there's a problem about copying the link on your phones, tabs, and some models of iPads. For that, you can just type the link or write it down and then share it with someone because it's quite a short link. I'm sure you can do it. Now let's see how you can make on your own. Now I'm just gonna click on this here. And you can instead just type in code.org in a new tab. You're gonna get this and you're gonna click on create, view all projects. I'm going a little fast because I've already shown this. On phones, it's going to be a little different. You're going to see a menu, like a 3-line menu icon. When you click on that, you're going to find an option that says projects and the similar screen will open. Now I'm going to click on view full list right here under the 4 default options. And you can see a lot of options that you can do by yourself. But to apply what you've learned in this video, you're going to choose Play Lab, which is right there. And once more, you're going to have lots of sections. You can ignore the logic and functions, and you can do whatever you like. You can code, and you can rename it by clicking on rename, changing the name, clicking on share. This time, you can copy the link even in your phone. Now cross that off and well. Thanks for watching. If you really like the video, then do subscribe, share and like so that my content gets across to lots of people. See you next time.